Hello there, and welcome. I am Perfect Blinky, and this is Capture the Flag on the Falkland Islands, which started out great. As you can see, it started out with a sinking ship, and my armored vehicle sinking promptly to the bottom with it. So that was the start, but luckily I could recoup the tank later. So yeah, this was CTF on the SENB server. Where I tried out some of my mechanics, so we allow some of the more APV focused weapons, planes, tanks, landing craft, that kind of shiz. But we noticed early on that wheels, especially modded wheels that are not 3x3 or 1x1, well, they slide after a while on the dedicated server. So yeah, this was the fatal end of my APV. We'll see next time if we can fix that with a different set of wheels, perhaps. And promptly blew up. Korenik made Naval Pancake, which in round 1 was a very good way of getting the flag from point A to B, even though it was very slow. After my tank debacle, I went for my submarine. So this is the U-110, which I showed off in a video a bit earlier. It went very well. It's still a bit unbalanced. The torpedoes, as you can see here, do drag up the ship a bit, so I have to adjust a bit of the values for them. But it was very successful. I landed a Torp or 3. But the heat of the battle really was this part, where we went into the enemy flag carrier ship, and I had to stop them. So I decided to submerge here. And come back up when I got closer. Although what happened was that they shot at one of my gyros, which made it almost impossible. You see it here, almost impossible to maneuver any further. So although I could move a bit, my rudders were a bit unresponsive, let's say. Which brought us to the next conclusion, I guess. While I went under the main battle, a bit more safe in the water, so that's what I really like about submarines. Even though you're not that offensive, getting from a point to another point is quite helpful. Even if you're not trying to go in the water, you go over land. So this part was... Yeah, I couldn't steer anymore, and I had my thruster set on full override, so I just decided to go for it. Quickly sliding behind the enemy carrier, and then we got loose. Oh, we made some good airtime. Yeah. I guess I felt like a fish out of water. That's this type of method we have. So yeah, fairly certain this thing was not going to hurt anyone anymore. So what I tried next was just to get close to whatever was attacking our flag carrier, or indeed our naval pancake over there. But the critical part was this. It took off my second out of 3 gyros, meaning I only have 1 left now, and it took out, I think, half my thrusters. So I needed to shed weight, which I will do shortly here, where I just release all the subgrids. Only the pistons will stay there, but since I was not able to reload my turrets, and all the torpedoes were shot, I knew I could better become a new flag carrier, since we are first now. Red is 1, blue is 0, since the first flag was captured by the floating pancake. As you can see here, I ditched it and went for the flag. It was recently dropped by the blue team, and we see here that one of the red members is coming to our to the canal, which is on which is part of the left island. I guess the eastern islands we're playing on. This is the island's mass I created again for Space Engineers. This is on a larger model planet, so it's a 300 kilometer sized planet instead of the 120. making it for a bit more flat terrain. And I guess this was the part where we gained another success. I think by now most of the ships have sunk or were distracted. Yeah, the Novgorod just sank. So even though I fled the battle unharmed and I was able to capture the flag with my teammates, there was no such thing as a flawless victory. And shortly after after this, we had to make sure that the round was over because there were no ships left. Though we made a good, we had a good advantage. So even though maybe Blue could win the third, this was the final out of 3. You can see here we still have some firepower from Mike's ship. Yeah. So this was me last year's effort. We had a minute left on the clock, and I decided to say, you know what? Last time worked. Let's see how this worked. I'll let you just watch. Yeah, they're asking where I'm going. So I guess this was a perfect ending to a fairly successful U-boat insertion, even though I did not survive this landing. But oh well, it was a battle well fought. Round 2 though, I went for the Shimakaze, or the Hare Majesteit Eilandenbries, which is the literal translation in Dutch, where I decided to drop all the torpedoes I had in a matter of seconds. This could be part of me lacking skill or some good maneuvering from the enemy team. I really saw them dodging torpedoes very hard, even though their range limit is 15 meters or 25 even. Large ships are able to dodge even a triple torpedo. They can just go in between them. And since I'm fanning them out slightly with a small rotor overset, it means that even though my spread gets better on long distance, it also means that ships are able to go between them. So I might decide actually that next time I won't use a fan method, I actually use a straight line method, so that at least one of the 3 will hit. Because it's harder to evade a blanket than it is to evade 3 gaps, or 2 gaps in this case. You can see here I am torping our base, I guess, where the carrier ship is going through. It's reduced speed a lot, and it was able to go in front of the torpedoes. So yeah, although the idea is great, a torpedo boat with 3 times quadruple torp launchers, my execution of it left some things over. So I decided to go back again for the flag. I had no crew left though, and I knew their ship was there. You can see here it is a catamaran carrier ship, which just loaded their flag carrier. So I tried to sink it before it could leave my sights. And in hindsight, even though I was protecting myself by shooting my torps before the airplane that is directly behind me could shoot me, I decided to just unload whenever I was able. You see here a lot of weaponry coming in. I was like, oh, so it's more of a panic button than it really was a strategic choice overall. So we have a lot of fire incoming. We have 1 reload left. Oh, I believe not even a reload left. So that was all the torpedoes I had. Blowing up 6, no, I believe 9 of them. It was a full load. So 4 times 3, 12 torpedoes. And only 1 of them hits. You see the bow of the catamaran is slightly injured. But not that much, and there was nothing I could do. I could only man a ship a bit. There was one turret in front I could control. But the risk of getting out of the cockpit and getting shot from deck, like we see here, or indeed just getting stuck in the gap. So, after the respawn, I went for the chase and tried to slow down the enemy as much as I could. Which looked, it worked fairly well. Although I did lose all of my waterline, above waterline superstructure. We see here that the batteries are fairly exposed. And I got shot off again. So halfway through, like a few minutes later, I got to get back to my ship. I was airdropped with the helicopter because the respawn bay was no longer working. I patched it up afterwards. But yeah, there was really nothing I could do. There was no crew to help me. They were all preoccupied. I'm losing both cockpits here now. So I had to grind it down and put one back on deck to be able to control it. And now we see that we're actually getting crewmates again. So this was our last ditch effort to slow down the catamaran, but to no effort, as you can see. It's almost at the blue spawn area, which is that little nook over there. Although we did make a win by having the other carrier actually phantom itself away from victory. Apparently sometimes still Clang comes back and haunts your dreams, and so did that carrier die by sheer physics, or lack of physics, I guess. So we only had this ship to worry about, and it was still evenly matched. But we can see here that blue is really close, so only if we can shoot the carrier off the ship before he can land himself. That would be the only way possible. But halas, they captured. We fought a valiant battle on spawn, trying to just get some revenge before we respawned. But they combat us with grinders, and that's the moment where you have to, or indeed rocket launchers. That's the moment you have to back off. So, last part of the battle, I decided to pick up one of Aragat's Landercraft, or this is an AAV, so it's a multi-purpose vehicle. Aragat himself was able to capture the flag, sail back with the ship, gave the flag to a teammate, told the teammate to promptly get underneath deck, but apparently one of the blue teams airdropped. They got on the ship and they found the flag carrier and they promptly killed them. Meaning that the flag, as you can see here, dropped to the bottom of the sea. And that was the moment I realized that I had to get into the battle there. Got on the mainland. And I had to regroup with some of my teammates. So although Apex was here, and we can see again those blues with their airdrops, it's so effective. I tried to keep the flag away from them, but probably it was a mistake to leave my armored vehicle, since I had no proper arms to shoot back. This was a very, very standoffish moment, and I forgot to pack anything that would actually kill anyone. So, running back to AV, saying that my life is more important than the flag. But of course, giving the flag away to blue is also not a thing we want. Trying to get into the guns, but they already shot off. Oh, so this was very intense. Like, I was trying to get the 1-to-1, but getting one of your teammates into one of these trucks, and blue promptly waiting for air support and just running away from us. And even though I tried to run this one over, he died, and I ran the one over, but he jumped over me. See that I jumped. These engineers have some proper legwork skills. Yeah, so this is the moment I say, okay, Apex, get in! I'm ready for you. And I believe he got really close. Yeah, Glazagus, but they got shot down by the carrier. So even though I was so close to protecting him and getting out. No luck. So I'm here stuck because as a driver you can't hold the flag, so you need a moving combatant. And this is where I made my other mistake. I should not get into any seats whatsoever. I tried to remote control it, but no, too late. I got shot off. So when I respawned, we had to run back. Luckily, Blue was not able to get close in time yet. Nododo was indeed near to me. And we see that we now have the vehicle, but the flag carrier got shot out again. Those pesky choppers. And I tried to grab it again, but it resets promptly. And this is close to where time runs out on this round. So it was a shame. So we can make. I said to my team, we have one more chance. We can make this a tie or we lose. And that is the moment where they started coming with rocket launchers and heavy artillery still supporting them from the water. Again, only on foot our team can get to the flag. Our air support was already out. And that is one of the key things that I noticed with capture the flag. There's no such thing as too much air support. Even though they're all in backup, it's always handy to have one ready at spawn to get your team back in place. And here we see physics on multiplayer servers don't really work. We have a blue hitchhiker, which I tried to get out of my truck. There we go, no more hitchhikers for you. Try to get in again. They're trying to take advantage of my my beautiful ride. So yeah, this was the moment. No weapons. Only bump mechanics, and even though I hit that flag carrier very hard, apparently he is made out of steel. And that brought us to the end of the round. The last ditch effort, I reloaded the machine gun on top. I was trying to get this one, but in the end, no luck. Blue was going to win this one, and I was dying here in the last ditch effort. I am Perfect Blinky. This was Capture the Flag on the Falkland Islands. I hope to see you all on SENB. Until then, keep on building. Goodbye.